Set 18 is out, so I'm gonna read about the new champions. So in case there are some people that are too lazy to read or they don't really understand what these champions do, I'm gonna learn this video to see exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna be of a raw dog video where we don't edit a lot. So if I'm saying some stupid shit, just close your eyes and let's get to it. So we started with one cast. We have Yorick. Passive, on death spawn a spirit walker with max health. Active, restore health and strike the target, deal physical damage. It's a one cast unit, but it has 3 synergies, which are very good. We're gonna read the synergies as well because with time, because we know what the synergies do, it's gonna be easier to get through them, yeah? Alright, so we have Blossom. After combat, your wisps are in power. Blossom champions gain attack damage, ability power, and max health. This is a vertical as well. I think it's one of like, 5 verticals. 3 wisps, you get upgraded. Wisps are in every shop, gain gold after buying a wisp. And 9, you can buy 2 wisps around. So pretty much it, I think you play around like 5 if you really play around like Blossom carries. Because seeing a wisp in every shop can be like pretty decent early game, especially if you get like experience or gold, so it's pretty good. Juggernaut is pretty simple, your team gains durability, Juggernauts gain more. And Summoner, which is pretty interesting because it's different from unit to unit. Summoners empower their summons in different ways. Yorick, you get health, Azir you get damage, Raptor you get damage, and Zyra plant attacks. You're gonna understand what this means when we get to Zyra, yeah? 2 empower summons, 3 improve each effect by 50%, pretty much like arbiters, right? Alright. Then we have Rek'Sai, which is an Eldritch unit. The ally on the Eldritch Hex is sacrificed at combat star, granting your team health. Eldritch champion gain additional stats based on the sacrifice roll, star level, and cast. It's pretty much a bit similar to the T-Hex, if you remember, where you sacrifice a unit. It's kinda like that, kinda. 2, you get HP, bonus is getting stronger at 4, and a 6, the sacrifice doesn't die, it also gains a bunch of stats on event. Cool. Brawler, just more HP, nice. Alright, Rek'Sai. Passive, restore health each second, triple for seconds after casting. Active, lunge out of the ground, stunning adjacent enemies for seconds and deals magic damage to them. Very important to remember this unit because the stun unit early game, very good. Varus, Inferno, not a fan of Inferno, you'll see why. Inferno damage burns and wounds enemies for seconds. Inferno burns stack with other burns. Pretty much you have red buff, you have anti-heal, cool. 2 burn, 3 after combat of your shop slots without an Inferno champion, nice, rolling a champion 1 tier higher. It's pretty good, it's not bad. 5 in our shops, slot percent burn, 7 more burn and stuff like that. And then you see what the burn does. Alright, and rapid fire, you get attack speed, your team gains attack speed, rapid fire champions game on every attack up to stacks. So pretty much if a rapid fire champion is stuck on a, I don't know, giga tank, you get a lot of attack speed, which is pretty good. Piercing arrow, wind up, then fire an arrow, the most enemies and ally with the target, deals physical damage to enemies hit, reduced by for each enemy it passes through. So pretty much the W from League. You can hit backline and you do less damage if you get through a lot of units. One cast unit, it's fine. Veigar, Eldritch, Sprykin. If I'm mispronouncing this, I'm very sorry. Sprykin gain the big furry friend. Drop a Sprykin on the BFF to pick its rider. A 3, the rider gains stats. 5, the BFF ability applies to your team. And then a 7, your BFF ability applies to your Sprykin champions as well. I assume this is a rider. Pretty much like you can put cannon on this and then you can send it and stuff like that. We'll have to see the visual exactly how it's gonna look like because it might be very good or just like fine. And Spellweaver, your team gains ability power, Spellweaver gains more plus extra ability power whenever a Spellweaver casts an ability. This is very good if your champion can cast a lot of times, like maybe Veigar from this set, right? Because you get more AP and that's very good for you. And then launch a giant blast at the target that deals magic damage, increase to AP if they're below max health. But the important part, if they die, apparently gain ability power, which is pretty cool because we had this type of like low cast units that can stack AP, AD, attack speed, stuff like that. So it's kind of nice. For sure you can play Veigar reroll. I'm not saying it's gonna be good, but it's very nice to see. And then you have Xayah with Elderwood, gain placeable Elderwood plants. 3, a Stonebark tree and a Live Bloom. 5, a second Stonebark tree. 7, Deep War Protector, 9 plants star up to 2 star and 11 plants star up to 3 star. It's another vertical. 11 of course you need spats and you need like pro level 10. Plants gain max health and ability power per Elderwood star level. In other words, if you want your plants to like be healthier, you wanna reroll. Also you have like a lot of low cost champions like 2 1 cast and 2 2 cast, you're gonna see later. But we could play like Elderwood reroll. And then you have Fae, not Fairy, just Fae. Your team damage, healing, and shielding attracts pixies. Each pixies grants Fame champions attack damage and AP, and after they fall below health, they heal for each pixie. At 2 you get AD and AP and heal, and at 4 you get AD, AP, heal. After attracting 7 pixie, start attracting golden pixie instead, which grants gold. I'll be honest, let me make this bigger. I'll be honest, I don't think you want to play 4 Fae without a spell. I think it's kind of mid, and I don't think it's gonna be that good. Maybe you play it early mid game to like generate some gold, but I like this somewhat of a new idea of like giving a way of getting some gold, especially in the early mid game. As for kit, gain attack speed for the next attack. These attacks are replaced with feathers that deal physical damage and reduce armor. Again, a good passive effect. Reducing armor, it means like early game you can do more damages, and it's pretty good. Alright, I have Leona, which is solar, which is very nice. Alright, solar. Your champions gain a max health shield and deal bonus magic damage. Gain additional bonus for each unique 3-star champion. 1+ increased shield and magic damage for each 3-star. I assume this is like 1 3-star, 2 3 stars and stuff like that, right? Then you get AD and armor and magic resist. Then you get convert of the bonus magic damage to true damage. And your 3-star champions ascend to 4-star during combat. When the sun shines on heroes 3-star and 3. I don't know what the last one is, but alright. So, explained, you wanna reroll all the units with solars. So in our case, we have like, for example, Leona, Sejuani, and Kale. And you're gonna see one also we're gonna reroll. Just give it a second. And you play these rerolls, and based on that, your champions do something. Cool. Leona, passive, start combat with bonus armor and magic resist that decays over seconds. Active build the target, dealing magic damage and stunning them for seconds. This is the important part, because having stun early game is very good. Alright, Ornn. Ornn is a defender. Your team gains armor, magic resist, defenders gain more. Defensive, cool. Active, gain shield for seconds and deal magic damage to enemies in a cone. Very good, no problem. Quest. Each player combat, Ornn stores damage blocked as Forge Power. Double the 3-star. Get an artifact anvil the first time Forge Powers reaches. So this is why I'm saying that you should reroll this as well if you play solars, because if you make him 3-star, you will guarantee pretty much an artifact anvil, right? Because he's blocking more and stuff like that. Alright, we have Pebbles, which is a Re-Beast. Use the Alpha Mark to grant a Re-Beast their unique buff. At 5, every combat your next shop is overrun with Re-Beasts, and at 7 on combat start, and every 5 seconds Re-Beasts grow, gaining bunch of stats, and at 10 maximum tier size. Another vertical, and for those that maybe didn't saw any information with this, the PvE mobs, right? So the Raptors, the Scuttle Paddle, the blue buff, the red buff are playable units now. So this is one of them called Pebbles, which is is the small stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm not playing League anymore. My bad. Begin consuming max mana per second and channeling a laser on target. Each second while casting, deal magic damage to them and reduce their magic resist by. Till buff, gain mana regen for every second channeled. This sounds very similar with Asol Untransformed from this set. It's just one cast unit. Alright, and we have Rakan, of course, because we have Zion, which is a Fae Juggernaut that gives like durability on your team, and Juggernauts get more, and Vanguard that at combat start and after dropping below health, Vanguard gain a max health shield for seconds. I know you guys know this, but maybe there are people that don't remember this, so I'm just gonna remind it a bit. Gain shield for seconds, then grant the ally who has dealt the most damage this combat decaying attack speed. I'm not saying you should reroll them both, but one Zaya, just saying. Camille is Coven, which is the new loose streak trait of the set. Sorry. Gather Essence by killing champions, plus more by losing player combat. Beginning at Essence, choose to convert Essence to reward, so continue gathering Essence. Each reward require increasing amount of Essence. Bunch of yapping for just like put these 3 units on your board and lose streak and that's it. But the difference is that from what Riot said, Coven is not as punishable as Anima. In other words, you still want to lose streak and have a big lose streak, but you will not feel that bad if you win. You're still gonna get like more stuff. Another very important stuff to know here is that the 3 champions that you need for Coven are a 1 cast, a 2 cast, and a 2 cast, and you have a 3 cast as well, right? So pretty much, there are cases, I'm not saying you should do this, there are cases where you can go level 4 to 1, and you can roll for Anima if you have like a Cassiopeia from the drop, right? That's the 3 cast champion. So it's pretty interesting. Ravager, gain Omnivamp, additional Ravagers, deal bonus damage, double against units below health. This sounds a bit like Marauders, right? Similar a bit. Alright, Camille Kit, slice the target for ADAP physical damage and gain shield for seconds. Pretty straightforward. Cinderling, Re-Beast and Hunter. Hunter gain attack damage. If a Hunter hasn't swapped targets for seconds, they gain damage up. Pretty good. but I'm not sure if it's like very good, right? Because like usually you want to put your unit on the weaker side, so you don't really stack a lot. But maybe if you get like hard stack on a very tanky unit, it can be good. And summon 5 razor sharp leaves that converge on the current area, dealing total damage, physical damage, and applying wounds and burn for seconds. Scarlet buff is enduring gains attack damage each second. Small kit, like nothing to say there. Karma, Blossom, and Spellweaver, we already know. Tether the current target, dealing magic damage for over seconds, then release a burst of power around them, dealing magic damage to all enemies in a hex radius and slowing them for seconds. Again, it's only fine. Brawler and Sprykin on Kobuko, restore health over seconds, the next attack is replaced with a bash that deals magic damage. I hope it's not the old Kobuko where he lifts his hands, because that one cast Kobuko would take so much time to do anything. It was just so annoying. Teemo, I really like Teemo. Teemo is so fun. Here's an invoker as well. Your team gains mana, increase 1 invokers. Listen to this. Throw 2 clusters of mushrooms that deal magic damage to the nearest enemies. Cool. Then hurl a giant mushroom that deal magic damage to the target. Nice. Each cast has a chance to forage an extra mushroom that can be collected for bonus effects. Red mushroom you get rerolls, green mushroom you get tactician health, and the yellow mushroom you get XP. I think this can be very good, and I think again can be a reroll camp. The kit sounds very fun. Visually, it's very appealing, so that's nice. Warwick, it's Eldritch and Ravager. By the current area, dealing physical damage and healing for a percentage of the damage dealt, gain attacks before the rest of combat. Rest of combat might be a bit much. We need to see the stats, but it's a bit much. We have Blossom Executioner. Executioner gains precision and critical strike, so pretty much you don't need IE, you don't need JJ anymore if you play 2 Executioners. That's pretty good. Dash. Listen, I don't like my carry to dash around if it's ranged. I'm just saying. Dash then launch an orb at the current area that deals physical damage and splits, dealing physical damage to nearby enemies. I hope it doesn't dash in the front line. That's all I'm saying. And Akali, apparently it's the other one cast. Sorry, I started from the wrong side. Inferno Adapter Ravager. Adapter throw a volley of kunai at the target, dealing physical damage. If the target is burning, deal an additional damage. If the ability kills, cast it again. Inferno looks like it could be a reroll camp as well. So could be. Not sure, but we do have Akali, we do have Varus, maybe. Murkwolf, it's a Reef Beast and Ravager. Leap to the lowest health enemy within hexes and deal physical damage. The next attack deals bonus physical damage. Grey buff, gain precision and critical strike chance increased up to base on missing health. So pretty much again, you don't need IEJJ. Scuttle Crab, Reef Beast and Juggernaut. Attacks are replaced by a dance that deals physical damage to all adjacent enemies. Burrow Underground, gaining durability for seconds and healing over the duration. Green buff, when allies fall below health, they restore max health. Only problem that I can see here is that it depends if he drops aggro, because it says Burrow Underground, right? So imagine Blitz, right? You don't want this unit to be like a frontliner if he drops aggro. But we'll have to see in game. If he doesn't drop aggro, sounds pretty good, so we'll see. And Sejuani, Solar Juggernaut, gain shield for seconds, then cleave in a cone, dealing magic damage, and strike in a line, dealing magic damage to enemies hit. Not a fan of this. I don't know why we need to do damage with a Juggernaut, but I don't know. I would like more some stun or some slow, but I guess. Inferno Defender on Shen. Grant shield to Shen and nearby damage ally for seconds. Both of the next attacks gain attack speed and deal bonus magic damage. Okay, it's a low cost unit that can buff like units from your team, so that's pretty good. Common Vanguard on Elise. 2 cast transform into a spider and gain max health. Attacks while in spider form deals bonus magic damage and heal for AP. Subsequent cast grants decaying attack speed for seconds. Maybe reroll. Not sure. She's a Vanguard, so that's pretty good. Gromp, Reef Beast and Adapter belch a noxious bubble at the current target that explodes on the first enemy hit, dealing magic damage. Enemies within a hex of the explosion take magic damage over seconds. Adapter heavily slows the target. Purple buff, every second Gromp gains AP. Every second. A bit much. And Kale, and that's why I said Solar reroll is gonna be very good. Solar Rapid Fire Kale, passive. Kale ascends based on her star level, granting her stacking bonuses. Alright, first ascension, attack deals bonus magic damage. Second ascension, attacks shred enemies hit for seconds. Third ascension, attack fire waves, dealing magic damage to all enemy units hit. And fourth ascension, gain infinite range. Every, I assume it's third wave, is much larger. So my question here is, because I don't understand it, but do you get the fourth ascension only if you get Kale 4-star? Because if that's true, because 1-star 2-star and 3-star, right? I assume that's how it goes. And with the 4th ascension, it's like if she's 4-star, it means that you can only play this with like word weight to cast, like the prismatic version, or of course Pandora's Bench if we get it back. Maybe I misread this and I don't understand it, but we'll see. Right, Elder Will Spellweaver on LeBlanc. After player combat, your strongest LeBlanc has a chance to create a copy of an ally on your board, increased by her takedown. Active launch a mirror image at the current target, dealing magic damage to adjacent enemies. So pretty much the W from League of Legends. Very interesting this, because it sounds like a way of printing champions, right? Of course you need to win, so my first thought is like, oh, LeBlanc reroll, because that's how you can take takedowns. So far we have some possibilities of rerolling, like with LeBlanc, with Zaya, and with Ornn, so we'll have to see. And then I'm gonna read from this, because then we have 3 cast champions here, yeah? Caitlyn, Covenant Hunter, passive, every third attack is replaced with a headshot that deals physical damage. And this sounds kinda similar to our Caitlyn, but there's a problem. This Caitlyn is Coven, right? So with Coven, you want a lose streak. What if you headshot and you win the fight because of it? I'm just saying, pay attention. Elder Brawler, Alistar is just a beast, just listen to this. Roar, restoring health, cleansing disables, healing the lowest percent health allies, and then slam the current target dealing magic damage and stunning them for seconds. I'm just saying, I'm a fan of Alistar. I don't know the numbers, but this sounds very good. 3 cast champions. We have Vi, Primal, and Juggernaut. Primal, choose one of your Primal Blessings. We'll see. We'll see what they are. Passive on attack, restore health. Active, unleash a Primal Roar, restoring health. Then gain attack speed, durability, and immunity to crown control for seconds. I mean, it's pretty good. You get like anti-CC. Tristana, Face, Spriken, and Hunter. Attach an explosive charge to the target that lasts seconds, while active gain infinite range and attack speed. After the duration, the charge explodes and splits damage between all enemies within 2 hexes, dealing physical damage. There's a lot of text for saying just attach bomb, explodes 2 hexes. Cool. This could be positioned in the backline, in the center, in the early mid game, because you attach the bomb to the front line, it can like deal a lot of damage. Late game, of course, you want to position in a different way. If an enemy with an explosive charges on them dies, it attaches Tristana new target. Oh, so if the bomb unit dies, you get it to a new unit. Alright, that sounds cool. Mastery, Blossom, and Adapter. I think we read this. Adapter abilities change depending on if their AD or AP is higher. So pretty much like Riven, okay. Adapter gains AP or AD depending on which is higher. Alright. Uju style, passive, every third attack is a double strike that hits twice. On takedown, gain a burst of movement speed. Very similar with our mastery. Okay. Adapter double strike grants attack speed. If it's AP, and if it's AP, double strike deal bonus damage and heal. Ooh. So you get like... Ooh, okay. So you can build him AP AD. You get heal, movement speed. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, the kits are a bit loaded. Ramos, Spriken, and Defender. Taunt forcing enemies to attack these champions for seconds, gain shield and armor and magic resist. When the shield breaks, deal physical damage to enemies in hexes. Ramos is back, you know, just Ramos. Raptor, Rebis, Summoner, Rapid Fire, summon 4 untargetable tiny beaks nearby for seconds. Whenever Raptor attacks, tiny beaks attack the same enemy, dealing physical damage. Orange buff deal physical damage, reduce enemy armor by percentage, right? So you spawn some stuff, you do more damage to them. Sure, cool. Rengar, Rival. Oh, this synergy, just. Rival is only active while fielding one rival. A rival collects takedowns, gaining 3 if they take down another rival. In other words, if you play Rengar, you want to kill Kha'Zix. If you play Kha'Zix, you want to kill Rengar. The 2 rivals can be fielded together. Only applies to your strongest rival, okay? Jump to the lowest percent health enemy within hexes and stab them, dealing physical damage, then heal for percentage of their missing health. If you saw Natty Nat climbing Korea, or if you're a League of Legends fan, that's what's gonna happen with this Rengar. I mean, the kit sounds good. I'm very curious to see how Rival is gonna work, because it sounds like you can only play this if there's another guy playing these units. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see exactly, because getting 3 takedowns would be kinda good. Alright, we'll see. Hecarim, listen. Elder Vanguard, gain armor magic resist for 3 seconds and restore health over the duration. So far so good. Launch spectral idols at the nearest enemy, dealing magic damage and stunning them for seconds. Another stun unit. Kha'Zix, the rival, leap to the furthest enemy within hexes, dealing EP damage. If they have no adjacent allies, deal magic damage instead and gain mana. In other words, you either need to bait where Kha'Zix jumps, or you need to have near your carry another range unit. So you put them by 2, because if your carry is solo, Kha'Zix is just gone. Coke, it's a Caustic Invoker and Adapter. Caustic units damage, shred, and sunder enemy for seconds. It's like the old Kog'Maw, if you guys remember, the one with Ramos as well. It's a good idea to like get some shred if you don't have it. And of course, most likely it's gonna be like a reroll Kog as well. Adapter, launch acid at the 2 nearest enemies, dealing physical damage. Enemies below max health, take physical damage instead. Damage enemies over time, okay? Krag, Rebeast Brawler, passive on that, split into 2 Kraglets. With health active, gain max health, then roll into target, dealing physical damage, okay? Slay buff on that, Krag and Kraglets shield allies for max health. My god. I mean, it sounds like a good unit, but it sounds like you need to play like Rebeasts with all of these like Rebeast units. Because this buff actually makes them worth. Like, this is fine, don't get me wrong, but this is like, you know, getting shield on a lot of units is pretty good. Azir, Eldritch, Executioner, and Summoner gain attack speed and summon soldiers for the next attacks. These attacks are replaced by command, which direct each soldier to deal magic damage per attack. Pretty much the W from League of Legends, nothing saucy. Cassiopeia, poison the target and 2 nearest non-poison enemy, dealing magic damage over seconds, poison stacks, so pretty much you can do a lot of damage if the fight takes a lot of time, so that's pretty good. Lunar Ravager and Vanguard on Diana. Lunar is a very interesting trait. Lunar champions and adjacent allies gain attack speed and AP. Lunar champions gain more. 2 you get AD AP, 3, 4, 5. Of course you need spats for 5. I'm not sure about this one. Because, like, imagine you need to play 2 and you play around the Phelios, which is a forecast. What do? Do you just play Diana? I mean, I guess it's fine because you have the Vanguard. It's fine. Gain shield for seconds and send out a Moonlight Orb to the closest enemy, dealing magic damage. Sure, sounds fine. Fiddlesticks, it's a Flora Fatalis where are only 2 champions. It's only Fiddlesticks and Soraka. Flora Fatalis champions harvest enemies on takedowns, gaining mana at 1, and grant a max health heal to the lowest health ally at 2. Reduce the magic resist of the nearest enemies, then drain life from them over seconds, healing health and dealing magic damage to each over the duration. We had this type of Fiddlesticks before. It's pretty much the W from League. It's fine, it's cool. Forecast champions, let's go. So, we have Set, which is a Blossom and a Brawler, passive. Upon falling below max health, the first time each combat, gain 100 mana. You'll see why this is important. Active, wind up a big punch, rapidly healing for health and AP before dealing physical damage and based on health, physical damage in a large cone. I have some questions. So first of all, this is a good kit because it pretty much guarantees that you cast no matter what, right? Because you start with 60 mana. If your set is like losing health fast, right? You get 100 mana, so that means you cast no matter what. Good. Is he supposed to do damage? Like, is he a damage dealer on brawlers? Like, can you make like BT, Titans, Terak? Or is he supposed to be the tank? Because it reminds me a lot of the set from KO Colosseum, right? I'm not sure yet. It sounds like you could make it fun, or he can one-tap some stuff. But I don't only see him as the main damage dealer. I might be wrong. Alright, Severe Primal Hunter. Throw a large crossblade that deals physical damage to the current target and bounce and stuns nearby enemies, dealing physical damage each bounce. When this kills an enemy, bounce an additional time. I like this kit because it pretty much says that it can reach backline, right? So if you're hard stack on a main tank, right, you still can do damage to the other units that maybe are like lower cost or maybe they are not upgraded, so you can still kill something. So I really like Severe kit. Soraka, the other unit with Flora Fatalis, call down a star on the current target, dealing magic damage. If a star has previously fallen on them, call down an additional star that deals each magic damage. Do you want to be this? You want to be same side with the main tank? No, nah? Or? Maybe, perhaps. Going back, sorry. You remember that I told you that Zyra and Summoner is gonna make sense, right? Because but Summoners are against plus plant attacks. So, she's a Thorn Maiden. Your team gains durability. Increase 2 if or more Zara plants are alive. I assume this says that increase to like, let's say 100, right? If 2 or more plants are alive, right? I don't think it's scalable. What I'm saying is that, for example, let's say that you get 100 durability for 2 plants. If you have 3, you don't get like 50 more, right? So it's like capped at like, you know, probably 100 if you have like 7 plants, and you cannot get more than that, which is fine because this will scale way too much. Spawn plants around the battlefield that attack the nearest enemy. Each attack deals magic damage. Something that we don't know. What exactly do they spawn? Do they spawn anywhere? Because if I spawn 3 plants on the enemy backline carry and I just kill them, good for me, but I'm not sure if it's like around the battlefield that attack the nearest enemy each times. It says around the battlefield, so it could be anywhere, right? Alright. We'll have to test it. Lilia, its Fey and Defender, restore health and sends Butterfly at nearby enemies. Enemies hit, take magic damage and sleep for seconds. If they take damage, they wake up and take an additional max health magic damage. Sleep is like a form of CC, I assume, right? But you're gonna wake them up, so most likely this is gonna be a 1 second stun into more damage. Okay. Malphite, Eldritch, and Monolith. Monolith gain armor and magic resist for each enemy targeting them. Gargoyle, we just go on Malphite. Also, what is this? Gain shield for seconds and become petrified. So far so good. When the shield breaks, unleash a wave of dark energy, dealing stats magic damage to enemies within hexes. I'm just saying, looks kinda good. I like the idea behind it, especially the monolith thing, because you know how like Gargoyle sometimes it's not that good on most of the champions. This pretty much guarantees that if you make the item early to win streak, Malphite is good for that. Morgana, Cavern Invoker, passive gain Omnivamp, active fire a Dark Blast at nearby enemies, dealing magic damage to them and cursing them for seconds. Then spawn a Hex Withering Zone for the same duration that deal magic damage per second. Cursed enemy takes more damage per curse. Big Blast, Big Zone, more damage. Cool, that's a lot of text, man. Alright, Nidalee, Primal Adapter. Adapter gain attack speed for the next attack. These attacks are replaced with Javelin that deals magic damage. The third attack instead targets the furthest enemy with the least items and deal magic damage. In other words, if your carry doesn't have 3 items, this Nidalee might bring you a visit. And Adapter AD transform into a melee cougar fighter that swipes enemies. So of course it depends on what type of champion you have, if more AD items or AP items. But of course, me included, I'm gonna try to make her AP and just one tap backline, because that's fun. Ancient and Sentinels, Rebeast, Vanguard, and Invoker. Gain shield for seconds, slam the ground, sending a few something in the direction of the most enemies. Enemies hit are briefly knocked up, take magic damage, and are mana reeved for. Ooh. Bringing mana reeve back, it's, you know, for the people that are maybe newer to TFT, mana reeve means that they increase the enemy mana cost, right? So if the enemy spell costs like 50 mana, mana reeve means that the spell costs now 70 mana, right? You don't steal it. It's not your mana now. You cannot get more mana. But you increase the enemy mana that they currently have. Blue buff each time Sentinel cast, ally gain mana regen. Okay. That's pretty interesting. It sounds like Nunu to me. Sounds like you send some stun in a direction with a lot of enemies. So it sounds like Nunu. You know, you need to have some Nunu champions. Aphelios, Luna Rapid Fire, equip Severum and swipe the target damage times over second, each dealing max health physical damage. After the onslaught finishes, fire a blast that deals physical damage split among all enemies in a 2 hex radius. I think we had this Aphelios before. I'm pretty sure it was like exactly the same one, right? I mean, it's good, it's not bad. Rebeast, Ravager, on Brambleback, passive when the target dies, leap on the next target, dealing physical damage. Every time I say leap or furthest, I am not happy. Active, gain attack damage for seconds, during this time ignore armor. Ignore? Like all of it? Red buff, attack burn enemies and heal Brambleback for max health. Leaps, physical damage, gain damage, ignores armor, burns enemies, heals. Alright. Oh, I mean, double Brambleback. Ezreal is Elderwood and Executioner. Blink away from the current target, dealing physical damage to them and gain attack speed. Blink away, it's not always good. It's good when, for example, Rengar jumps on my Ezreal and I blink away. Cool. But if I blink away in the front line, like we saw it before, it's not good. Every 5th cast consumes the attack speed granted from Nature or Wrath and fires a blast through the target that deals physical damage reduced by for each enemy it passes through. So pretty much you blink away from the current target, so it's pretty much a quirky, you go, and then every 5th cast you just do the ult and you can reach backline with it and you do more damage. Okay, it's good, it's good kit. Amumu, Inferno Juggernaut, passive, every second restore health and deal magic damage to enemies within hex, active, deal magic damage to enemies within hexes and stun them for seconds, increase to seconds if the target is burning. Pretty much you have like a 2-second stun, if the enemy is burning it's a 3-second stun. It's good. Especially because Inferno gives you burn already, right? So you always want to play at least 2, okay? Ari's Blossom and Spellweaver launches Spirit Bomb at the target within hexes that has the most surrounding enemies. It deals magic damage to enemies in a hex, reduced by hexes away from epicenter. Okay, okay. So it's Big Bomba, Kamehameha. Alright. Elder Dragon, a Rebeast and Apex Predator. Elder Dragon takes up 2 team slots and grants +2 to the Rebeast trait. Okay. Passive, attack deals damage to enemies adjacent to the target, so you cleave pretty much, right? Active, become untargetable and fly into the air, gaining Omnivamp, similar to all Shyvana. Upon returning, stun all enemies for a few seconds and ignite them for a few seconds as well. Ignited enemies take max health physical damage per second. Subsequent other cast spew fire at the most enemy in a line through the target, dealing physical damage and igniting them for seconds. The Elder Dragon buff, damaging an enemy below health executes them. I'll be honest, the first time I read this, I was like, this is so broken, there's so much in a kit. But then, I realized that this unit becomes melee unit, right? So he jumps in the, or she, sorry, I apologize, my bad. They jump in the center, right? And they become melee. So they can get focused by the enemy carries. So that means that no matter what, most likely on this unit you want Edge of Night. I'm not sure what's the best assault, I have no idea. But Edge of Night, Titans, so you don't get CC sounds pretty good. But you have to find a way to like deal damage as well, right? Kit sounds good, sounds interesting. Alright, we have Taric, Emerald Aspect. Dragon ally onto your strongest Taric to pair them, granting the ally powerful bonuses from Taric ability. Pretty much it's the old Fated if you guys remember. Passive, the first time Taric or his paired ally draws below health, unleash Emerald energy from both of them, granting shield to allies within hexes. Active, restore health. Taric and his paired ally deal bonus magic damage on their next attacks. What if my kid is Aphelios? Shouldn't this give like bonus magic damage or physical damage? And it's a good unit, it's a good unit. Also, it sounds like a unit like you can play on the cap board, right? Because you play probably like 2 Vanguards. Yeah, okay. Greenfather, Ivern. What's Greenfather? Gain seed when your strongest Ivern casts plus every combat. Ivern uses seeds to grow a hex on your board that grants a bonus to its occupant. So pretty much you can make every hex like a water hex, a mountain hex, and these hexes probably gives you different bonuses, right? Like more health, more attack speed. Okay, sounds pretty good. Passive, shields from this ability can critically strike with precision. Wait, shields can critically strike? Okay. Active grants allies damage jump shield and damage jump for seconds, then deal magic damage to enemies adjacent to them. After casting times, also grants stacking attack speed to targets. Your shield can critically strike. Okay, listen. So he buffs your allies, gives you shields, gives you attack speed. Cool. You play this unit if you have an empty slot at level 9, yeah? You cap the board around either. It's very important to know these units that you cap board around or that are flexible to be played on, right? Because you always want to like cap your board somehow. So Ivern is pretty good. Taric sounds pretty good so far. So keep in mind these units. Inferno Executioner on Cannon, charge up gaining ability power per burning enemy, then gain shield for seconds and rush through a nearby group of enemies, dealing magic damage. After rushing, unleash a Hex Firestorm that deals a total magic damage split among all enemies hit over seconds. Okay, so pretty much this unit, it's a melee unit. The first cast, you're gonna apply this burning effect, right? and then with the second cast, after you get the AP from the burning units, that's gonna be the money cast, right? The one where you deal damage. I'm gonna skip Lux for now, getting back to it. Let me read Maokai. Maokai, Old Growth, whenever an enemy within hexes dies, gain permanent max health. Level 8, you roll down, you hit Maokai, you play on board, yeah? No discussions. Also, another flex unit that you can play on level 9. Passive, after every damage blocked, a sapling jumps towards a nearby enemy and deals magic damage. On death, sapling jumps out. Active, deals magic damage to target and restore missing health. So it's a, you know, similar with Zac somewhat. A bit. Alright, let's talk about Lux. Pretty much Lux is a unit that has multiple shapes, right? She can be a lot of stuff. She's an avatar, and with this avatar you can get like, you can be an Elderwood, you can be a Fae and stuff like that. And based on what you are, you get different bonuses. Also, if someone, for example, has a Lux Elderwood, right? They bought it from the shop. All the Luxes they will see in the future are gonna be Elderwood Luxes, unless you sell it, right? Another very important thing is that if you have an Elderwood Lux, Timmy in your lobby cannot see an Elderwood Lux anymore. To make it more simple, let's say someone in your lobby goes for 10 meeple, right? If I buy Lux that is meeple, the guy is not hitting. It is what it is. Alright. So, avatar, having an avatar on your bench, and board transform all other... I just explained that. It just, the explanation is a bit, you know. Passive, on cast, all allies that share a trait with Lux gain more mana. Good. Active, fire laser towards the largest group of enemies that deals magic damage reduced by for each enemy hit. In other words, if you don't position and you just default position, you're gonna get hit by Lux. It's similar with the Master Lux from a few sets ago. Alright, let's see what the synergies do, yeah? So, if your Lux is Fae, you're healing the lowest percent health ally for an ability damage dealt. Okay, more damage you deal, you heal. If it's Coven, reduce the armor and magic resist of targets hit by for the rest of combat. Okay. If it's Solar, weakens enemies hit, so you reduce that damage dealt. Okay. If it's Primal, gain attack speed for seconds. Eldritch stuns target hit for seconds. Can you do this like multiple times? Like if I stun once, can I stun the same unit again? Because I'm just saying, Lux is 60 mana. If that's true, Eldritch is probably like one of the best. Blossom, the first target hit is dealt bonus damage. Every cast? I hope it's every cast, right? Okay. Inferno bonus restore mana per takedown. Very good. Means you can make like full damage, right? And you make Inferno and you just kill and you get like infinite mana. Okay. Elderwood casts grant all allies increase max health for the rest of combat. Okay. And Lunar applies vulnerable to enemies hit for seconds. Increase damage taken. Okay. I think the Eldritch one is the best one, right? And the rest are, you know, fine. Alright. Last 5 cost champions, we have Alune, which is Attuned Lunar and Spellweaver. Attuned. Your strongest Alune cycles to a new phase of the moon after each cast. While the moon is at or below half full, your team gains durability. While above, your team gains damage amp. And her kit says, rain moon shards split among the nearest enemies, dealing magic damage each. If the moon is full, instead crash it onto the board, dealing magic damage split among all enemies. I assume she starts with durability, so your team is like stronger at the start. And then the second or third cast, right, you get the damage up. She's also 35 mana, which is very low. Ash, which is a Blossom and Hunter, fire an arrow through the longest line of enemies that deal physical damage reduced by enemy hit. The arrow tears open a rift for seconds that deals physical damage plus max health physical damage per second to enemies within and slows them. Oh my god. Alright, so Ash is in the corner, she's ulting across, right, most of the times, and you don't stun anyone, but you open a rift, like Shen a rift, right, and you slow everyone. I'm not a fan of it. I know she's a 5 cost, I'm not a fan, because unless the meta is like melee champions or attack speed like Rageblade champions, it's not that hot. It's fine, it's alright. Doesn't sound like a legendary. I might be wrong, I might be giga wrong, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Draven, Bounty Seeker. Choose a bounty, your strongest Draven can progress on the bounty to earn its reward. Upon completing bounty, choose another. These bounties can be like 1, 2, 3 rounds and is different. So for example, we have a bounty where it says Draven, if they survive 3 rounds, you get some stuff. If you kill a unit, you get some stuff. But for example, if you get a bounty that is like survive this round and you don't survive, from what I know, and I'm not sure if this is gonna stay, but from what I know, if you fail your quest, you can get another one next, right? So you don't need to sit there with a bad quest that, oh, maybe I should have not taken this, maybe I'm not strong enough to survive, you know? You don't get punished for it. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay, but I do remember in the past where I was taking like some missions. I don't remember exactly the synergy, maybe you guys can tell me. I was taking like, I don't know, kill 10 units and I wouldn't kill anything. I was so sad because I cannot change it. Yeah. Anyway, passive. Attack targets random enemies in a range and apply a bleed that deals physical damage over seconds. Every attack has a chance to deal bonus to physical damage and apply bleeds instead. So I'm focusing random units and I apply bleed. Okay. Active, throw 2 giant axes toward the enemy with the most bleed. Deal physical damage to all enemies hit and consume their bleed instantly, dealing remaining damage. So, you know Talon? Right, let's say Talon right now, he jumps in the backline and he does 2k damage over 20 seconds. What Draven does is he's doing the same, but if he wills the unit with the bleed, that 2k is dealt instantly. Or like, you know, that's what I understand. Also, I know it sounds kinda like insane, but imagine you have a Giga tank and you have Draven in the right corner, right? And the enemy tank, an enemy tank, it's like straight up in front of him, corner of enemy front line, right? Doesn't that mean that Draven is just gonna wall this? He's just gonna miss everything? Maybe I'm looking too much into it. I'm sorry. I might be very wrong with this kit, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong with something. This is what I understand from it, right? Now, Elderwood, Sprykin, and Brawler, passive gain reach per second and reach per attack. Active, transform into Mega Gnar, leap into the largest group of enemies within hexes, then deal physical damage to enemies within them, reduce their armor and magic resist, and stun them for seconds. Mega Gnar gains health and replaces his ability with grab and throw. I assume this is the second part. Grab and throw. Throw the target. Throw the target? Ooh. Wait, you grab them and you throw them? Like, okay. Throw the target at the furthest enemy, dealing physical damage to them and physical damage to enemies they pass through. If there are only one enemy left, throw them off the battlefield. No, not Lee Sin again, man. Alright, big kit. But I assume this is a melee champion, 100%, right? So you transform in Mega Gnar, you reduce armor, you stun, and you grab and you throw, and you deal physical damage furthest. Alright, another unit that you can cap around, because it has a loaded kit, sounds pretty good. So we can see like Titans, BT, Sterak, okay, we can see that. Sounds pretty good. These are all the champions of this set. I don't think I'm gonna read the synergies also because I read it at the start or like, you know, and I think overall the set is fine. I don't think it's something insane or like crazy, and I think the charms are fine. I think they're a good mechanic, especially with the new rules. I do hope the balancing is gonna be good. I'm not gonna make this video longer. I hope you guys learned something and got some insight. It was a lot to read, I'm not gonna lie. So let me know what you think about the new set, and see you at the next one.